What's up, everybody? This is Commissioner Scott. Today we bring you Mr. Rob DeLoach Jr. out of Savannah, Georgia, premier coach, trainer, leader in the community. I want to bring you behind the scenes so you can see what he's doing down there in Savannah with the Factory 2, how he's training these student athletes, not only to be great athletes on the field, but also in the community and be great men and women. So without further ado, Mr. Rob DeLoach Jr., how you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing, sir? Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. So let's tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what your team's doing down there in Savannah, Georgia.
Hey, my name is Rob DeLoach. I'm out of Savannah, Georgia, my hometown. I've been coaching, working with young people probably for the last 20, 25 years. And various sports from football to track to basketball, coach middle school, basketball, football, and just decided to turn over a new leaf and, start a strength and conditioning program and kind of an outlet to educate parents on what it takes to make the sacrifices for your children, to play at the next level, whether it's D1, D2, D3. My objective is provide the resources where you can go to college for free. And a lot of that means that you got to put in the work up front as a parent.
Free college is definitely something that we all need out here. Trust me, I got student loan bills right now, and it's a headache. All right. But, to alleviate that stress, there are certain things you can do, parents, from Rob, would you say from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade to help alleviate that stress if your student's trying to be an athlete?
Yes. Basically, you got to focus on your academics. And for most parents, they may not know, or most people may not know, there are 77 academic scholarships to 1 athletic scholarships. And if you know that these universities and colleges are institutions of higher learning. So we definitely want to focus on academics because there are 77 kids walking around, and we'll say the University of Georgia that don't have to go to practice, that are getting the same benefits as a person that has to go to practice at 5 in the morning and then, return back to their dorm or their apartment at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So we're always going to push academics first, and then everything else to take care of itself.
Could you tell us a little bit about your prior career experiences?
Well, kind of growing up in the inner city, my mom, lived in the projects. My dad was in the military, so my grandmother kind of raised me. So, just getting exposed to hang around with the older guys and, them taking me up under their wing and kind of, lead me in the right direction. So for me, I just try to give back on the principles that I was brought up on. And, you reap the benefits when you start planting seeds. Right. So, when I go back to the old neighborhood and see some of the old guys, it's like, man, they're proud of you. So definitely don't want to disappoint them. Don't want to disappoint those people that gave me the opportunity, and show me the way.
Right. Awesome. So did you play any athletics when you were in school?
I played basketball, football, baseball, volleyball, tennis, anything with a ball. Whether it bounced, if it was flat, we made it work. So, it's just what it is.
I got you. So what college did you attend?
I attended Brunswick Junior College out of high school. Played 2 years of junior college basketball, and then I transferred to Savannah State. And then from Savannah State, I ended up joining the Air Force and playing basketball in the Air Force for 6 years.
Okay. What did you do while you were in the Air Force?
I played basketball primarily, but I had a job as a munitions operation specialist. So my responsibility was to keep accountability of all of the ammunitions that supplied the B-52s, the F-15s, F-16s, and A-10s aircrafts.
Okay. So you're a military vet? You in the wars or anything like that?
I went to the first Gulf War. I went to the, several different events throughout the, Western Europe during my time, 14 years, serving the country.
Okay. Well, appreciate your service, sir. And while you were in the military, were there any things, any skill sets that you learned that just help you be a better person overall, or that you passing out to some of these students?
Well, part of that is, being consistent at what you do.
Okay.
The military is kind of structured. So, coming from being raised by your grandmother, these are certain things that you just carry with you. So, structure, discipline, getting up early. I was used to getting up early because Granny said that no man, sleeps late in the bed. So I was used to getting up on weekends at 5:36 in the morning. Whether I had anything to do, I still, in the process of getting up. So Teamwork. You had to learn to work together in the military. And, a lot of it was accountability. So, and attention to detail. When working with munitions and, working with certain type of weaponry, you had to be accountable. You had to pay attention to details. And you had to be disciplined in your daily tasks.
Okay. So y'all young people, if y'all listen, consistency, structure, paying attention to detail. In Mr. DeLoach's case, in the military, if you didn't pay attention to detail, it could be a disaster, right? People could blow up. So that's one.
You could lose munitions. You get a serial number wrong and you end up in the wrong hands, and then you can't account for it. Then things start happening, and we don't want that to happen.
But that's one thing I noticed working at DoD with former military personnel. They pay attention to detail, and because in typical civilian life, if you make a mistake in the workplace, you probably can recoup from it. But in the military, it could be life or death. So it's good to have that mentality adopted and pass it on to some of the students also. So the Factory 2.0, man. I mean, I've been doing a little research. I'm impressed. For those that don't know, all right, it's a story behind this. All right, Mr. DeLoach and myself, Commissioner Scott. I probably can see the resemblance a little bit. Look at the gap teeth, right? I think it's about 3 months ago. I discovered that Mr. DeLoach was actually my brother, right? And we still get the bond and know each other. What was very interesting was that without us ever knowing each other, I'm 43, Mr. DeLoach, even though he looked like he about 36, but he probably is late 40s, but I ain't gonna say his age, right? But it's interesting that the genes and genetics were so strong that we were kind of doing similar things, but in different, different fields, right? He's working with the students and athletes. I was working primarily with the students, trying to prepare them to be engineers and get to the next level. Well, Mr. DeLoach, my brother, is preparing them to be on the field, on the court, the classroom, just preparing good individuals overall, strength and conditioning, coaching, mentorship, leadership. So it's like we first started talking, it was a natural connection because we were on the same thing, right? Without even knowing each other. So it was amazing how that worked, man. And I'm glad to be able to say that I got a big brother that I can learn from, and we're doing similar things. We can work together. So world, be on the lookout. We're coming.
Oh yeah. Can't hold us back.
Yeah, we out here, man. So, but yeah, Mr. DeLoach, I didn't mean to go on a rant like that, but tell us a little about the Factory 2.0, man. And what's the difference between the Factory and the Factory 2.0? Man?
Well, the 2.0 is building more relationships.
Okay.
So, you and I have built a relationship. So now we get to step our game up outside of, college coaches for sports. Now with the National Engineering League, now we can expand the minds of kids in our community that may not be good basketball or football or baseball players, but they definitely, they have the ability at the academic level. So we can tap into those resources as well. So when you're talking about bringing an engineering aspect on it, then that's just another avenue for us in the gym, to turn that wheel one more time. And we want to keep growing. So as we grow 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, until we run out to infinity, we want to keep growing and keep learning, keep turning that wheel.
Right. Because I'm interested at understanding what engineering is involved in athletics anywhere, because it's constant problem solving, right? If you're on a court or on a football field, there's something always going not according to plan. You got to keep readjusting. Could you talk about a little bit of problem solving aspect that you influence your students to try to adapt when they're out there competing, man?
Well, iron sharpens iron. And here at the gym, we have most of the better athletes, and, they go to various schools, but they compete against each other. And you want to be able to compete against your peers. That, helps push you, keeps everybody focused, everybody's on one accord. And that's just the mentality in the real world. Employers want to hire the sharper, the better, the more disciplined, the more accountable, young people, whether male or female. Right. So we just kind of bring that out of them. The biggest thing is that they got to have the parent support, because this does not work just with the kid. The parents have to buy in as well. So not only do we solicit good kids, we solicit great parents.
Okay.
So if you're a parent and you hollering at your coach and the referees, then it doesn't work. Same thing, in the classroom. If you're telling the teachers are bad and fussing at the principal and stuff like that, it doesn't work. Right. So we had to solicit, like I say, great kids and great parents as well. partnership.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because I know just me making it as an engineer coming out the projects too. It was a long, long haul, but I got out there, right? But it was the parents, like my mom. I had a stepfather, man. They made sure I had what I needed to get out there. And my mom didn't play like your grandma did, like our grandma did. And I knew not to bring bad grades home. I had to hurt her mouth. I didn't want to do that. So it's like, okay, what do I really want to do? And I would have to say that my mom was my first engineering coach because she was always challenging me to think outside the box, try to figure out how to solve problems and prepare me for the real world, So I can see that from what I've been seeing with you working with your student athletes and your own kids as well, like how to prepare their mind to get to the real world and be executing to a high standard, high performance level. So congrats on that, man.
Oh, it's a work in progress. So, when you're dealing with young people, you have to constantly remind them there's nothing new under the sun. So, you just got to stay focused and stay consistent.
Okay. So at the factory 2.0, man, like, okay, what's a typical day in the factory like for a student athlete that's, they've made it through the requirement stage and they're joining the factory and their parents are on board. What's going on in there?
Oh, we are moving heavyweight fast.
Okay.
Because most of these kids play sports. So, we work on, moving heavyweight fast. And because they're athletes, we're not bodybuilders in here. We're athletes. So we train like athletes in the weight room. But it's a focus, a teamwork. We only have an hour, so everything has to pop, so there's no room for distractions, putting on the wrong weight, not squatting properly. We watch the details and we make sure that the kids are doing it right the first time, so we don't have to go back.
Okay. So what type of student athletes and parents do you target for joining the factory and the activities within the factory?
Well, a lot of it is come from recommendations of their peers, other parents, and coaches around the city and, and surrounding counties.
Okay.
First of all, you got to be a good human being.
Right.
And, we harp on that because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to bounce the ball or carry the ball at some point. Second of all, you got to be a student of the game, in the classroom. We encourage all of our kids to sit to the front of the classroom, build that relationship with your instructor, your professor. So when you're having a bad day, they'll know that, hey, Rob is not having a good day, but normally. So it's about relationships. The third thing, you got to be a ball player. We want the better ball players, iron sharpens iron. And then lastly, you got to be a good human being. You got to be a good kid. You got to be able to fold up your clothes, clean up your room, wash mom's car. On Sundays, I particularly look for parents who show up here on Sundays and the mama brings them or the grandmother and their car is not clean on Sunday, then that's going to be a problem. Because, my grandmother, I used to wash her car on Saturday. So when we got ready to go to church on Sunday, that car was clean.
Right.
So that's one thing I expect from these young people is that they make sure mama car is clean on Sunday for church.
Okay. So the athletes that you may not work with, they're not ready or their parents are not ready. What tips can you give them to get ready to be on such a elite level, man? And to be a part of an organization is helping them get to the next level, man. If they're not ready, what can they do?
Well, we just give them advice. Not everybody can get in, our little small gym, but we have other resources outside of the gym that can help them, get to where they think they want to be.
Okay.
Because a lot of them, they think they want to do it until they touch those weights and the discipline and all that is, oh man, like, yeah, and I have a saying, it's not for everybody.
Yeah,
it ain't
I know.
for everybody. So, and they find that out rather quickly. It ain't for everybody. So that's why we have to do our due diligence to make sure that we bring in kids and parents that really, really, really want to get better.
Right.
And, I'm fortunate enough to work with a guy that has 25 to 30 years of experience in strength and conditioning. He's a former Marine. I was Air Force Marine. So he brings a wealth of knowledge of just about life and his experiences as well. So, we formed a partnership. Right now, he's down there pushing these guys to the brink. And I'm up here, building relationships with, my brother, Corey Scott, Factory 2.0. So, I mean, it's just what it is, having fun at the same time.
What's your partner's name, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it's Mr. Sam Carter.
Okay. So I noticed there's a lot of technology involved behind the scenes in sports. You know, you look at the quarterback on the sideline; he's got the pad out, reading plays and all that stuff. So, how important are you seeing technology being more of an influence in the game today, man?
Well, I mean, it gives you, you can see the information right in front of you. Before, you had to wait till you go to halftime, then somebody had to, tell you what happened. But now you can just put up on the pad in between plays, and you got all of these coordinators, and you got technology, and you can get that. I mean, they got stuff in the helmets now,
Right,
where they can send plays in. So the technology and the speed of the game, I mean, you got to match up. You got to be able to keep up. So that's why we say we got to have kids that want to be better. They also got to study. They got to study the film. It's crazy that you mentioned that because we got an eighth grader that's going into ninth grade, and my advice to him today was to get the film of all of the games that his new school played in last year, and then study those tendencies because you'll end up playing the same team again.
right,
So get the playbook, get the film, start studying at an early age because that's only going to prepare you not only for sports in college, but it's going to prepare you for life of how
right.
to get ahead. So we start teaching early.
Okay, got you, man. So your partner too, I think Taylor had told me about a track coach she had. I don't know if it was in high school or in Ohio State, and she had a machine that she was using to help her prepare for the long jump. Is that the same individual?
No, no, this is so. Coach Martin is actually the track coach. He engineered a kinetic link where you can put this apparatus on a kid and it actually helps with their mechanics.
Okay,
It's something that he engineered himself and had it patented.
okay. So people can go online and buy it right now.
Yes, sir. You can go online at kineticlink.com and purchase this apparatus, and you can actually reach out to him. And he can tell you, how to apply it.
Okay. Well, look, if you could, please, I definitely need to get him on the show, man, because we want to highlight the people behind the scenes. It's
Oh,
crazy
definitely.
like this. Yeah. Kineticlink.com. And
Yep.
what's his name one more time?
Raphael Martin.
Raphael Martin. Okay. He's from
Coach
Savannah as
Raphael
well.
Martin. He's actually from Charlotte, North Carolina, but he was a track coach here at Savannah State
Okay.
University.
So what are some notable athletes that you work with that you don't mind talking about that either went to D1, D2, D3 school on full scholarships or in the pros? Anyone you want to talk about?
Oh, I mean, we have several. So I guess I can start with, my three. My daughter, Taylor DeLoach, 9-time state champion in the state of Georgia, 2-time national champion, Big Ten champion at Ohio State.
Wow.
Then we got Kalen DeLoach, the oldest boy. He's a senior at Florida State, playing middle linebacker. Let's go Florida State against LSU first game, Orlando. And then we got the baby boy, Jalen DeLoach, 6'9" forward at the University of Georgia. So that's just my in the house. And, my motto has always been, I never worried about my kids, but I also definitely want to plant seeds of kids outside of my household. So
Awesome.
for those dads or parents that can't be there, just try to fill the gap until, they can get to where they need to be.
Right.
So we got out of the gym, out of the city of Savannah, we've coached Jakeen Harris, who's also a senior at North Carolina State. Eric Hicks Jr., who's playing at Tulane. We got Fuchsius Lewis playing at Georgia State. We got Omar Burroughs Jr. playing at University of Kansas. We got Daquan Dowse, who's playing at Georgia Tech. We have James Shellman playing at Middle Tennessee State. We got DeMonte Smith playing at Middle Tennessee State. So I can go on and on, but in the last 5 or 6 years, we've sent over 30 kids and counting to play college football.
Wow, 30 kids, man.
And counting.
That's remarkable, man. Hey, I gotta step my game up. I got about 4 or 5 kids that got full scholarships in the last 5 years in engineering. So, you motivate me to
like I said, we're going to take this to another level. So, one of our high schools is an engineering school.
Okay.
So hopefully we can partner with them and, you and I can come down and we can set some things up and then we can help that set it up where these kids can get that level of expertise when it comes to engineering.
Yes, sir. Because I want to start networking the schools and leaders within the school systems to work together too. Kind of like an NEL or Factory 2.0 coalition. Right now, I got a partnership with the Global Impact Academy down here in Fairburn, Georgia. Big shouts to Principal Nupo, Dr. Gubini, doing big things down there. We also got one with the Michelle Obama STEM Elementary Academy out in Hampton, Georgia. Taylor's actually helping with some initiatives there, kind of combining the athletic part and the educational part of it, or engineering part of it, to kind of see the engineering in running, right? She's actually going to be help motivating people, the students, to try to get a shoe developed, and maybe some fashion as well, as you told me about earlier when we talked. But yeah, we want to start connecting these schools and these leaders together. So definitely looking forward to doing a partnership down in Savannah as well, and everyone can utilize the resources, and we can all grind together. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, we definitely want to open up some other doors, some new avenues for kids that maybe never thought about going into engineering. So I'm excited about the upcoming months. I don't want to say years, because I like to take care of things now. So
Right.
school will be back in next month, and hopefully we can plant those seeds. So the first day of school, that we at least have 10 to 15, 20 kids signing up, for the engineering team, and just get more involved.
Okay. So did you have like a defining moment in your life what made you really say, hey, man, I really want to focus on helping these kids become better? I know myself, when I was a senior high school, I got a full academic scholarship to Fort Valley State in Georgia. It was a dual degree program. It was a CDEP program. And I would go to Fort Valley State for 2.5 years, and I transferred to either Oklahoma, Georgia Tech, a couple other big schools. But I wasn't able to take advantage of it because, parents, mom was kind of scared to let me go outside the state of Virginia, and, just wasn't really able to take advantage of that. That was kind of my defining moment, and it made me say, you know what? I want to not only educate the kids on how to get to the next level of engineering, but also the parents as well, right? Was there a defining moment that you have that really propelled you to do what you're doing now?
I guess, I have several, but probably the one that sticks out the most was, willing to give back and help, is that I volunteered to work with Special Olympics when I was over in Germany.
Okay.
And those young people had a determination, and, they didn't look at their disabilities. They looked at them as being, having abilities. So it just changed my mindset on young people and how gifted they are and how willing they are to work, not even seeing that maybe they have a disability. So it kind of gave me some insight that, they're human beings just like me with abilities. And I don't even have the skill set of some of the kids that we consider to have disabilities. So, I learned not to judge, just give them an opportunity just like anybody else. So I have a love for kids that just want to get better and not look at what they can't do, but take out the good, what they can do.
Right. Well, the glass is always half empty or half full, how you looking at it, right?
Yes.
So if I'm having a bad day, it's like, you know what?
Somebody's
what's going right in my life instead of what's going bad.
Right.
Like right now I'm working, I'm going to school, if I'm trying to finish this doctorate up. It's just a lot going on. And sometimes you just tired, you feel like doing nothing. I was like, you know what? Hold up. There's people out here that can't do this stuff. Or they have, not disabilities, but abilities, like you said, but they have things that could hold them back. So let me think about what's positive and what I can do to make this happen instead of what's going to keep it from happening,
Right.
So that's a great attitude to have. Thanks for sharing that with us. Anybody you'd like to thank that's been influential in your life? Of course, Granny, even though I didn't get to meet Granny, man, I could tell she was a great woman because everyone talks about her.
Yeah, that's the soul. That's my backbone. My mother was very supportive. My dad was supportive. Just people, just in my community, people that I've met over my course of 54 years. I just take the good out of it and just kind of build my own platform of how I can be successful, how I can impact other lives based on my experience in life. So I don't complain about things that didn't happen. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. No, I just take it as an opportunity to learn and get better.
Right.
So I try to remove the devices, the negativity, and just try to stay positive and just keep pushing.
Okay.
Now, do I have bad days? Not that often, because I just take that as a learning experience. So, and I try not to surround myself with people that bring me down or that's very negative. So I keep my circle small, and I keep I keep my circle around people that think like me. We have things in common. So it makes it easier, day to day when you surround yourself with people that want to be successful.
Right. But that's interesting you said that. It probably was about 6 months ago. I was talking to my little cousin, Marquise. Big shout out to Marquise down there doing this thing, Last Access TV. And I was telling him, I was like, man, I really sometimes I like mentoring people and, coaching them up and all that. Sometimes, man, I wish I had somebody I could talk to, get coached up, get some advice from as well. I was like, man, I wish I had a big brother or, uncle or somebody to talk to. So the power of attraction and speaking things into existence is powerful. Anyone listening, I'm telling you, like I never knew I had a big brother, my biological father. Just met him 3 months ago. Nieces, nephews, aunts. It's amazing, like what you can speak into existence, and if you manifest it. So, anybody
come to fruition.
Yeah, come to fruition. And anyone watching, I advise you guys to get a vision board, put your ideas on the board, look at it every day, pray over it, and just start talking to existence. You want to talk about anything like that, Rob, as far as just speaking things into existence you've seen happen in your journey?
Well, part of it is you got to believe.
Right.
You got to believe in you. And every day you have to challenge yourself to get better. And, one of the models in here, while you sleeping, somebody's grinding.
Right.
And you can't cheat the grind. So I'm just going to put one foot forward at a time and just stay the course. I know my end goal is to see parents and kids sitting at the table signing their college scholarships to go to college, and they don't have any debt. That is so rewarding, So we've been blessed for the last 5 years to have kids sit at the table, start out with 0 offers, and then they get an offer, and all you need is one to be able to go to college where your son or daughter doesn't have to pay.
Wow.
So, we've been blessed to have kids, like I said, continue our success, their success, just through hard work and dedication. So we're just going to, stay the course.
So keep up the great work, man. I got my wish, man. I got me a big bro I can learn from as well.
But we can learn from each other, man.
Yes, sir. We are, man. Because that energy you said about surrounding yourself with the right people, energy, I feel it already. You know what I'm saying? What I see when I met you, I was like, who is this guy, right? He kind of looked like me a little bit. He's doing similar stuff. But what I saw that we had in common, we really are humanitarians, man. We care about people, not just ourselves, but we care about the well-being of people that care about themselves and want to do something to contribute back to society. So anything I can do to help with your journey, your cause, I'm down, So just let me know. I'm there, all right?
Hey, man, we're going to keep this bicycle moving, keep that wheel turning. That's why I said we have to bounce ideas off each other. So, you may see something that may be, that can help us grow, and I may be able to give you some pointers. So I don't know it all, so I'm still learning. That's why I work with young people, so they can keep me abreast of what's going on, and keep my ear to the ground. So when I see things and I hear things, then I can let them know, hey, this is probably how it's going to turn out through my life experiences.
Yeah. Well, it's July the 17th, 2023. It's the reason why we met right here, right now. We're going to find out pretty soon because, we're going to put our heads together and do what God wants us to do. So I'm excited about the opportunity to get the bond and, to assist wherever I can. And let's go. Let's make it happen, man.
Yes, sir.
Tap into this engineering resources that we have because we got college students that have graduated from college. We got people that came out of North Carolina, A&T, NC State this year, Georgia Tech. The alumni is pretty deep. So anything you need from an engineering standpoint, we need to do some research. Let us know.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Definitely want to get some of the young ladies into engineering.
Okay.
That's just tap. It's untapped resources.
Yeah.
So when it's untapped resources, it's not flooded, then we got a better opportunity to be successful because it's something new to them.
Right.
And then if they have that support, then they're going to be challenging us. They're going to want more and more and more and more and more.
Right.
And then just once we plant the seeds, we're just going to keep watering it and keep watering it and keep watering it.
Right.
And that's what we talk about the factory. We just want to keep growing. We just want to get better on and off the field. We want to keep inspiring young people. We want them to inspire us as well.
Right.
So it's a win-win. When we listen to them and we give them feedback, and then they see some success, then it just want to make them work even harder. And it's the same thing, on the football field, on the court. You start having success, you want to continue to get better, and you're going to keep being thirsty for knowledge. And you and I have to be really, really good at what we do.
Right.
So we got to stay on top of our game as well. So,
yes, sir.
That's how we grow.
Well, I think you said it most. It's the relationships, it's the, leading people, also being able to be led ourselves, learn from each other, and just figuring out, what we taking these folks at, man. What needs to happen sometimes. I've engineered products for years. I say at least 20 years. But I'm more interested in engineering people, helping them get their minds right so they can get to where they want to go, so they can really do what they were sent here to do. I think a lot of times we get distracted. Kids get distracted with, things that happen in life. And some people don't quite reach their potential because of these distractions, right? So I think it's good to got people like you in the community helping them focus and realizing no one's going to give it to you. You got to go and get it. You got to go and take it. You got to work hard for it. So
you got to have a plan. And we just try to hold you accountable for what you say you want to do.
Okay. Well, with that note right there, man, accountability, that's key. No matter if you're playing football, basketball, golf, you're an accountant, literally, or an engineer, you got to hold yourself accountable before other people even have a chance to, So I will leave it right there, Mr. Rob DeLoach Jr., man. Savannah's most premier coach, leader, trainer, and my brother, man. Big shouts to you, big salutes. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'm proud.
All right, man. Thanks for having me, man. We can do this again. I look forward to the opportunities, man. You keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep these airways open, and let's connect.
Yes, sir. Yes. So on behalf of the National Engineering League, this is Commissioner Scott. We've had Mr. Rob DeLoach Jr. on the Factory 2.0 out Savannah, Georgia. Thanks for coming on the show, man, and blessing us with some knowledge. Can't wait to hear more from you, and y'all stay tuned. He'll be back, all right? Thanks.
Peace.
Peace.